Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I did slap my knee. Welcome to Super Breakfast Friends Club.
Why did you slap your knee? Was it that funny?
I don't know. I felt like I needed to punctuate saying hello, and then I did it.
I didn't hear it. I don't know if it caught. Maybe Discord didn't catch it.
They heard it. The audience heard it.
If you add a slap in post.
Welcome to our show, where we talk about TV shows and movies based on video games.
Where we talk about only Sonic the Hedgehog.
Don't take that tone with me.
I'm taking it.
We haven't talked about Sonic the Hedgehog in a while.
We have a master list of almost 500 shows. Why is 90% of them Sonic the Hedgehog?
This time it's because it was an anniversary, Mel.
Fine, I'll allow it.
Play the theme song. I hate this theme song.
It's not good.
It's really bad. It doesn't tell you anything. It isn't catchy. It doesn't even set the appropriate tone for the show.
No, it kind of feels like a wet fart. Like it doesn't really go anywhere. It stops before it gets good.
It stops before it does anything.
Yeah.
This is Sonic Boom. Remember Sonic Boom?
The one where he wears a neckerchief.
Can you believe it's been 10 years since Sonic Boom?
Can you believe it's been 10 years since I made that Sonic comic where everyone got turned into snakes?
I'm so glad you said it, because I was going to say, yes, the fact that Sonic Boom is 10 years old means that it's been almost 10 years since we put Lyric in our stupid Sonic comics that we used to send each other every birthday and Christmas.
That was the longest epic I created.
I don't know if we should put those somewhere. They're so full of in-jokes and...
They're inaccessible to anyone that isn't us.
Yeah, but they exist. And
they do.
Lyric was in them. And he turned everybody into snakes for a while.
He sure did.
And I believe Team Chaotix are still snakes.
I never drew them, so that's your fault.
Yeah, I know. Well, because I think that was the comic where everybody got turned back from being snakes. And I think at the very end of it, that was the punchline, was like, Sonic was like, everybody's back to normal. And then we see Team Chaotix and they're like, I'm sure Sonic will save us soon. And they're all still snakes. But I think that's the only time Team Chaotix ever appeared or were mentioned, except that I think every time Lyric appears, Sonic thinks it's Vector at first.
That would be your joke, because I don't...
You don't think about Vector like I do.
I don't tend to remember that Team Chaotix exists.
Yeah, and I love Team Chaotix, and they're some of my favorite. I've got... Team Chaotix are sitting right here in front of me right now. I've got figures of Vector, SBO, and Charmy watching over me while I work.
Freak.
They're cool. They're good guys. Anyway, Sonic Boom: The Rise of Lyric was the first game. Or I guess it's just Rise of Lyric. I don't think there's a "the" in there. It came out in 2014 for the Wii U. It was made by Big Red Button Entertainment and published by Sega. As far as I can tell, Big Red Button Entertainment were formed for that game, and it seems like they still exist, but I don't know, it's hard to find out too much about them. On their actual website, they have a bunch of VR games listed, so I guess they've slipped into VR development now.
Right.
I'm pretty sure they were founded to make this game, and like half the staff left before this game came out.
Cool.
Because of the situation.
The situation.
Yeah. So Big Red Button was formed out of mostly formed out of former Naughty Dog staff. They were led by Bob Raffay, who was the art director on the early Crash Bandicoot games and Jak and Daxter. And it was always planned to release alongside this TV series as part of a kind of new sub-franchise alongside normal Sonic. and the idea was that this would be tailored to appeal to Western audiences.
Okay.
Which is strange because Japanese Sonic has always appealed more to Western audiences than to Japanese ones anyway.
Right, I didn't think they were struggling for a Western audience.
No, they're struggling for a Japanese audience, if anything. This game actually went into production in 2011, and it was going to be called Sonic Origins. And it was a Jak and Daxter style game focused on 4-player co-op, and it was being made for the PC.
Weird.
And then if the Steam release went well, it was going to get released on PlayStation and Xbox as well. As far as I can tell, there was no thought towards a Nintendo version.
That sounds like a weird departure from form in gameplay.
Yes, I agree. The original plot was going to explore Sonic and Eggman's history, and it was going to have them be friends when they were kids, and then over the course of the story, they fall out.
So it goes into the divorce?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, no, I guess that means they're friends when they're kids, and then they fall out, and then they get married.
And then they fall in love.
I don't know if there was ever any love. They're just married.
You don't know that. Sonic seemed pretty gung-ho.
That's true. Later, they renamed it Sonic Synergy, which is what it stayed named for a decent chunk of development. But then, in the middle of development, Sega signed an exclusivity deal with Nintendo, saying that there were going to be 3 Sonic games released exclusively for the Wii U.
So the one system that wasn't supposed to get any Sonic got all the Sonic.
Well, no. They were making Sonic Lost World already, which was made for this deal, and that was exclusive to the Wii U, although it's on PC now as well. Eventually it came to PC as well. So I think Sonic Lost World was made specifically for this deal, because I have always thought Sonic Lost World is trying really hard to be a Mario game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even in its art style, it looks like a Mario game, it sounds like a Mario game. The new characters all kind of look like Mario characters. I think they made this deal with Nintendo, and then they were like, well, it has to be a Mario game then. But then, and then this, I think they made one game under the deal, and then they kind of regretted the deal.
Okay.
So I think this game was just tossed into it. And the third game in the deal ended up being Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympics, which feels like cheating to me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, there was never any question that Mario and Sonic was going to be released outside of the Wii U, right?
Right.
Mario's in it.
He's trapped inside of the Wii U. He can't get out.
It seems like the sudden switch to developing the game for the Wii U, it was the cause of most of the problems the game has, because, spoiler alert, this game has a lot of problems.
No.
Sega came in at some point, Sonic Team came in to, like, supervise what they were doing, and made a bunch of demands. Whatever the original designs for the characters were supposed to be, they all got changed to be closer to the recognizable Sonic characters.
Mm-hmm.
I've read an interview somewhere where one of the designers talked about how Sonic was supposed to wear pants at some point. And they had some kind of argument, I think, with someone from Sonic Team about the idea of Sonic wearing pants. The thing is, this is something, I'm pretty sure this is the argument they make, and I understand where they're coming from. Once you put pants on Sonic, you highlight the fact that he doesn't normally wear pants.
You highlight the fact that he's naked.
Yeah.
He's a nudist.
So it's like, okay, I can see why they don't want him to wear them, but...
Was Sonic Boom the one where you could, like, make Knuckles jump infinitely?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, this is Flying Knuckles. Yeah, apparently they also had them drop the origin aspect of the story. And I think what they said there was that if there is an origin story for Sonic and Eggman, then Sonic Team want to be the ones to do it.
Right.
Also, I think that's fair. And they also had them make the game faster, which is wild because even with them having made the game faster, I think this game is too slow for a Sonic game.
Yeah.
That's one of my main complaints about it. And then 8 months before the game's release, Sega put the TV show producers in charge of the game's narrative and changed a lot of stuff about the narrative to make it more in line with the show, which I guess the game producers weren't super happy about. I'm not sure. After E3, when the game was first shown to the public, Game Central called Sonic Boom the worst game at the show and wrote,
"Oh no!"
and wrote, "It was so unspeakably awful we couldn't even force ourselves to play through the whole demo."
Oh no!
And after release, it went on to become the most critically panned Sonic game in history, which is quite an accomplishment among...
Every Sonic game is panned.
Yeah, but this is the most panned. I wasn't interested in this game. I've never actually owned it. I've played it, but I never owned it. I wasn't interested in it because I saw some of the gameplay videos. I saw what they were doing with it. And to me, it just looked very... You know, like the Lego games?
Yeah.
Those games, I played the first one and I enjoyed it. And then the second one came out, which I think was Indiana Jones, and I played the demo and I was like, oh, it's the same game as the first one. I don't need to play this. I've already played this. And that's kind of how I feel about every Lego game, where it's just like there's no challenge of any kind. Like, it's not difficult in any way. There's nothing that makes you think. You just run from room to room smashing stuff and picking up stuff.
Right.
And that's how I felt about what I've seen and played of Sonic Boom. It's like, it's the same thing. There's nothing that ever really challenges you or makes you think. You just run from room to room and you smash things and you pick things up.
Yeah, you turn your brain off and you just destroy.
Yeah. And like there's a place for games like that, I guess, but it's not in my house. Like, no judgment. If you like a game like that, no judgment. I get it. But that's not, I don't know, I find it kind of numbing in a bad way. Not numbing in a good way, like constantly hatching Pokemon eggs or...
That's not numbing in a good way.
It is for me. That's numbing in a way that satisfies me.
No. That's going into the naughty box and twirling on your Toros for hours and hours and hours. What?
Nothing, it was just funny. Anyway, so the show, which was being made alongside the game, there's this interesting crossover here because trying to figure out what stuff originated in the game and what stuff originated from the show was difficult. I'm not entirely sure on either front.
Yeah, why they gotta have the same name?
The designs for the characters originate from the game, I'm pretty sure. But there's also some characters that were created from the show and then appeared in the game. So, and I don't know everything of the crossover. There's also like a completely different set of villagers in the game who didn't show up in the show at all.
Everybody moved out and new people moved in.
I guess so. Well, I was looking at them earlier and I think the ones from the game are more interesting designs. There's like a pair of elderly jellyfish.
Elderly jellyfish?
Yeah, it's an elderly jellyfish couple called Hokey and Pokey. And
That's cute.
they live in fish bowls on robot legs. But they're only in the game, they're not in the show.
Oh, I think I've seen them before.
I hadn't. But I like them.
What a strange concept.
Yeah, it's more interesting than any other villagers I've seen in the show. Anyway, the show was made by Guido Productions, a French studio, now known as Technicolor Animation Productions. I guess Technicolor bought them out.
That doesn't sound French.
No, They are known for the CGI Alvin and the Chipmunks show, which I remember seeing and thinking looked awful and ugly.
I didn't know they had a show.
It ran for almost 10 years.
What?
Yeah, 2015 to 2023.
Oh my god.
And it looks awful. I hate it.
Yeah, I mean...
Are you looking at it now?
No,
Oh.
I'm just saying I wasn't super into the animated cartoon that was 40 years old or whatever.
I used to like the 80s one when I was a kid. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. But this one looks worse. Here we go. I found a picture of it for you. Just to illustrate how ugly it is.
Ew. He looks too much like a human boy.
That's the problem. Yeah, they are too human. And it makes it really creepy.
It does, yeah. Ew, I'm looking at the other two now. It's weird.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. But I don't like the more realistic ones either in the movies. It's like, I don't know.
What if we just let Alvin die?
Do you think that's something that was said in the writer's room in the movie?
I think there was at least one person that was so burnt out. He's sitting in the corner. He's smoking 3 cigarettes at once. He's like, what if we just let him die?
Which one? I think it would be... I don't know. No, it probably would be Alvin. I'm trying to think who they would kill off.
No, they'd kill off Theodore.
You think?
100% it'd be Theodore.
I don't know. I think that would be too sad. Because he's the sweet
That's the
one.
point.
Well,
yeah, it would have
right.
the most emotional impact.
Okay.
It would destroy Simon.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I was thinking... Because my mind went to Theodore. But then I thought, no, they wouldn't have the guts to kill Theodore. But then my mind went to Simon. And then I was like, but who would care? You know?
Theodore would care.
Oh, that's what it is. We wouldn't get sad that Simon was dead, but we'd get sad at how it affected Theodore.
Yeah.
Is his arm clipping through his hoodie in that picture I sent you? I think it is.
I can't... Oh, that? I don't know. Maybe he's just got a nasty hoodie.
Maybe.
With a... No, it's just a nasty hoodie, because this one also has a cigarette burn in it.
Okay.
Who tried to put their cigarette out on Alvin the Chipmunk?
What's his name? The guy that adopted them? It's him.
What is his name? I should know this.
I'm thinking Simon, but that's one of the chipmunks.
Is it like Dave?
It's something like Dave. Yeah, I think it is Dave. I think you're right. Yeah, that's why we couldn't remember it, because it's the most nothing name they could think of.
The most basic name.
Yeah, on purpose, I'm sure. The adoptive father, manager, and caretaker of Alvin, Simon, and Theodore. So he's a theatre mom.
Is it Dave?
Yeah, it is Dave.
Okay.
Yes, I forgot that's the one thing I was supposed to clarify.
I'm on the edge of my seat over here.
Anyway, Guido also made Shaolin Chronicles, which I haven't heard of, but apparently it aired on Disney, so I guess people know about it. This show aired on Cartoon Network. And I thought, for the longest time, it was 20-minute episodes with 2 segments. But apparently it's just 10-minute episodes, and that was just standard on Cartoon Network at the time.
Weird.
So I guess that's what like Adventure Time and Regular Show and Gumball were doing as well, because that was around the same time. With all of these shows, I had always assumed it was 20-minute episodes with 2 segments, but
Right.
apparently it was just 10-minute episodes.
It was just air them back to back, or just squeeze 1,000 different cartoons into 1 hour?
Yeah, they just used to air them back to back. Apparently, for the first few weeks that this show aired, they were airing 2 episodes each week, which is probably why I was under the impression that it was a 20-minute show with 2 segments. But
Yeah.
then after the first few weeks, they would only air one new one each week, and then the second episode would be a repeat of last week's episode.
Cool.
So you just get 10 new minutes of Sonic a week.
Cool.
I guess that's still more than you want.
My hot take, I didn't care for it.
Well, there were 2 seasons of this, and each season had 52 episodes,
Oh my god.
making for 104 in total.
Oh my god.
To this day, this is the only Sonic TV show to use the cast from the games. Every other TV show they've made has always had a new cast for the show, but this one actually uses the game cast.
How fancy.
Yeah. It first aired on November 8th, 2014, a few days before the game came out. And this is the first episode. It's called The Sidekick. It's written by Mark Banker. It's got 2 writers, Mark Banker and Doug Lieblich. I think I'm going to say that's pronounced Lieblich. Prepare yourself, because you are not going to expect these resumes. I can tell you that much. So Mark Banker is known for his work on Space Ghost Coast to Coast,
Okay.
Adventure Time,
Okay.
Duck Dodgers,
Okay.
and he also worked on Clarence and the Captain Underpants show. I haven't seen either of those, though.
Mm-mm.
And Doug Lieblich wrote for Pig, Goat, Banana, Cricket, which I've never heard of.
No.
But he also wrote for Season 2 of Minecraft Story Mode, the final season of Telltale's Walking Dead, and the second season of Tales from the Borderlands.
I forgot that there was a Minecraft story mode. I forgot that we lived through that dark timeline.
I played through the first Minecraft Story Mode, and it was actually pretty good until the end when they made a decision that made me regret playing the entire game.
That's not ideal.
No.
An ending shouldn't be so bad it ruins the entire experience.
So, yeah, those are writers who've written a lot of things that I really love. You already said that you didn't care for this.
No.
I'm right with you on that. I first watched this when it came out, and I watched the first 2 episodes as though they were one episode back then, because I
Right.
thought they were. And at the end of this segment, I was like, oh man, that wasn't very good. That's a shame. But then the second segment sold me on the show.
Okay.
So it's kind of a shame that they were 2 different episodes, because the second episode is actually good, but we're not watching that today.
I can tell that there's something there, but the first episode feels a little too millennial humor for my tastes.
Well, we'll get into it as we come to it. There are jokes I like in this episode, but there are also a lot of jokes that I don't like.
Yeah.
And I think if I remember rightly, the writers for this episode were not... They didn't write... They basically kind of like set the show up, but then they handed it off to other people.
Okay.
And I think the other people who took over were the really good ones.
Okay. There were a lot of parts in this episode where they really just bludgeon you with jokes.
Yeah.
Like one right after the other, and none of them really land.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it too. Well, we open in some desert canyons with Sonic chasing Eggman and taunting him about his name.
You can't lose me, Egghead! Eggman! You know my name is Dr. Eggman! You do that on purpose!
I remember this whole segment, this beginning, was put online to advertise the show.
I remember that.
This up until the plane crash, they just used as a trailer.
Yeah,
Oh, so did you recognize this when you started watching it?
I did. Just like the running through the canyon part, I didn't remember anything beyond that.
Yeah. Man, it's wild to think that was a decade ago.
I know, I don't want to consider the movement of time.
We've got Sonic here, played by Roger Craig Smith, who has been playing Sonic since 2010. I think Sonic Colors was the first game, and he's still playing him now. He's also Ezio in Assassin's Creed, so we already knew him.
What a weird crossover that would be.
Oh, that's not all. He's also Batman in the Arkham Origins games.
Oh. That makes more sense along with Ezio.
Yeah.
It's Sonic that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, Sonic is the standout. I've never been 100% sold on him as the voice of Sonic. I think he's a really good actor. I don't know, his Sonic voice...
You want Steve Urkel back.
His Sonic voice is just a little deep, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Kinda, yeah.
He's supposed to be a 15-year-old. I think his voice should be a little bit higher.
What's Jaleel White up to these days?
I don't know. Anything?
I don't know.
Anyway, we've also got Eggman here, played by Mike Pollock, who has been the voice of Eggman since 2003, beginning with Sonic X, where we already talked about him.
Oh, yeah.
We've also talked about him in Viva Pinata, where he plays Langston Lickertoad.
No.
And he was the mayor in the Kirby anime as well.
In 2023, there's an animated movie named Urkel Saves Santa.
What? In 2023?
Yes.
Is it and it's him?
It's him.
I gotta know about this. Wow. Where can I watch it?
Amazon.
Oh.
For $4.
So, pirate sites.
We have to watch it in the Discord around Christmas time.
Oh, let's do it. That sounds great. All right. Anybody listening who also hangs out in my Discord, please remind me.
Can you set an event for a month away?
I can actually, I think, yeah. So Eggman introduces Burnbot here, a robot that doesn't use fire despite being called Burnbot.
Nobody pinches.
That's the whole joke.
It didn't land.
It's not great.
It went on for too long and it didn't land well enough.
I do think that Mike Pollock sells Eggman's part in it well, though.
So what, he's gonna burn me with flamethrowers or something?
Flamethrower? No.
Oh, acid? Incendiary grenades?
No. The claws. Yes, claws. Very painful claws.
Tails flies overhead in a plane. It's not the tornado. It's just a plane. I don't think this plane even has a name.
Boo, lame plane.
Yeah, it was blue, right? I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Make it the tornado.
They couldn't get the rights to the tornado.
Yeah, so he and Sonic do some kind of teamwork thing using the Enna Beam, which is a thing from the game.
Okay, I was like, why does Tails have an electric whip?
Yes, no, this is the Enna Beam from the game. It was a Sonic Boom exclusive gameplay mechanic, though apparently it was inspired by Knuckles Chaotix. You know how the characters were like connected by a beam between two rings?
What a weird game.
It was a weird game, yeah. So that's the major gameplay mechanic of Sonic Boom, is that you can use the Enna Beam to do teamwork stuff, I guess. The game was supposed to be 4-player. I forgot to mention, like, by the time it came out, it was no longer a 4-player game. You are just followed by NPCs now.
You are 4 people.
I think you can still do 2-player in the Wii U version, but it's, obviously not what it was intended to be.
Right.
Tails is played by Colleen O'Shaughnessy. I think this was her first time playing Tails, but she's been playing Charmy since 2010.
That's not Tails.
No, she was Charmy since Sonic Colors, and then I think Kate Higgins was Tails, was the new Tails for Sonic Colors, but she left by this point, and then Colleen O'Shaughnessy took over from now and is still playing Tails to this day. And we've talked about her before because she was also Sora in the Digimon show.
Oh, I thought you said Sora, and I immediately thought of that weird animatic we watched.
Kingdom Hearts pilot, yeah. No, not that Sora. Different Sora.
Okay.
What is it? Sora Takanouchi, I think her name is?
Why are you asking me?
I'm asking the audience.
Well, they're not here right now.
No, I'll find out the answer in a week. Anyway, the plane crashes, and Sonic bails on the fight to go chase after Tails in the plane wreck, and Eggman leaves.
Yeah, Tails spirals off in a smoky pillar of death.
Yeah. Tails has survived so many plane crashes in the games.
You'd think he'd be a little afraid of them by now.
Or a little immune to them, one of the two.
Immune. No longer takes plane damage.
Yeah. You know, like you expose yourself to like a disease to build up an immunity, right?
Right.
And
that's how that works.
The disease here is a plane crash. Actually, yeah, I think I read recently that exposing yourself to disease actually doesn't build immunity at all, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about something like rabies. I'm going to expose myself to it so that I can be immune and then just die.
So this show is very much a comedy show. But one of the first things we get here is Sonic pulling an unconscious Tails out of a plane wreck and listening to his heartbeat to see if he's still alive.
Yeah, and worrying about the mortality of his best friend.
Yeah, his child best friend.
Why is he putting this child to work?
Immediately they're examining that thing that you probably shouldn't be examining. If you examine it too hard, there's some uncomfortable questions there.
Right.
It's like when people examine why Sonic doesn't like kill Eggman or lock Eggman up at the end of every game. It's like, just you're thinking too much about that.
No thoughts, head empty. Run fast man.
Yeah. If you
fast human.
If you think too much about it, then Sonic's not such a good guy anymore.
If you think too much about it, Sonic is a hedgehog.
So we're in Tails' house, I assume, where there are pictures of Sonic and Tails all over the walls, being friends.
Catching fish.
Yeah, catching fish, playing video games, and Tails wakes up and Sonic basically just fires him.
Yeah, he tells him that in as many words.
Yeah.
I'll see you around, pal.
Wait, what just happened?
I fired you.
Okay, just checking.
So Sonic's putting up posters looking for a new sidekick, because he needs a sidekick.
Yeah.
And we go back to Eggman, who's reading the poster out in his base and ranting about it to Orbot and Cubot.
I liked where this was going, but in execution it flopped.
Yes, Eggman sort of wistfully imagining getting to spend all his time with Sonic, I thought was funny.
What fool would want to be Sonic's sidekick? Spending every day with him, enjoying his friendship and respect. Not me, that's for sure.
Yeah, but then he didn't wear a single disguise. He gives up the plot, like, way too easily.
Yeah. Also, like, I didn't like, at the end of the scene, there's like a camera drooping joke that I don't know, it was dumb, I thought.
It was dumb.
It didn't really add anything.
No.
Orbot and Cubot here, the only characters in this show who haven't been redesigned for the Boom series. They look exactly as they normally do. Odd choice, but okay.
Are you saying they should be redesigned?
I just think it's weird that they're the only ones who weren't. You know?
I guess.
I love Orbot and Cubot. I think they look great. I really like the way they fold up into just a ball and a cube. I think that's great. It's just odd. I don't know. It feels like they redesigned all the characters to make it clear that this wasn't normal Sonic. And that just makes it strange to me that they didn't redesign these two at all.
They're the thread that binds us to the two Sonic universes.
They're the only ones who are the same characters between the two worlds.
Right. They remember the other world, but nobody else does.
You know, now that you mention it, I think they do break the fourth wall more than any other characters do. Maybe they are the Deadpool of this series. So Orbot is played by Kirk Thornton, who has always been the voice of Orbot since Orbot first appeared in Sonic. Orbot and Cubot both first appeared in Sonic Colors, which was the game where the current cast were all introduced. We've talked about him before because he also played Sunomon and Gabumon in Digimon.
Okay.
He's also been the voice of Shadow since Sonic Colors as well, so...
Cool.
Shadow the Hedgehog, that is. In case that wasn't clear.
What other Shadow would there be?
You know, I can't think of another. Cubot is played by Wally Wingert, who again was the original voice of Cubot. He also played the Riddler in the Batman Arkham games. He is the Red Tallest in Invader Zim.
Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Invader Zim or Tallest?
The Red Tallest.
Did you watch the Netflix movie?
100 years ago.
Yeah, it was good. I don't think we'll ever get any more Zim content.
No.
But I would love more Zim. I remember at the time when the movie was being made, there was some real hope that it would lead to a new series, but...
No.
But they're just going to reboot Rugrats for a fifth time instead.
Isn't that exciting?
This time in live-action CGI.
Oh no.
Maybe
I can't
that'll stick.
even imagine.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. Is it going to be like the adults are real humans, but the babies are animated?
That would be terrifying.
Yeah, it sure would.
Especially if they're trying to stick close to their models. Because the babies, they are lumpy. They are weird.
Yes. The Rugrats designs is the one time where I actually like those Klasky Cuspo looks.
Right.
Because every other show they've made, I have thought looks like a nightmare. But Rugrats, it works for some reason.
Right, because babies look weird by default.
Yeah. But you apply that design to, like, a Wild Thornberry. I guess I like Nigel Thornberry, but I don't like the rest of them.
No. But that's because, like, it seems like they were trying to make Nigel kind of goofy, and then the others were supposed to be normal.
That's the thing, yeah. I think it works on him because he is a comedy character.
Yeah.
But then Eliza's supposed to be, like, this relatable girl, and I'm just like, I'm horrified. I'm horrified every second I'm here. Anyway, Wally Wingert is also the current voice of John from Garfield.
Hold on. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Oh, is this
I
it?
guess. Chucky looks good. The others, not as much.
Yeah. I mean, they look like Boss Baby characters.
Yeah, Tommy especially looks like a talking Tom, but baby.
Oh, yes. I didn't know there was a first look out. So what? Hold on. I need to know where the live action comes into this. Because as a fully animated movie, I'm like, okay, I could see that. I can see that. But what's the live action? Wikipedia doesn't even have a page about this yet.
Yeah, this video doesn't seem to have any footage.
Rugrats and the Big City, the movie. No, I don't think that's real.
Okay.
I think that's a fandom wiki.
It's from a YouTube video where I guess they must have stolen it.
Oh
from
no
a
no no no
fandom
no!
wiki.
I mean what I found wasn't real. That title I just
okay.
found I don't think was real. I'm not doubting what you found.
I might be.
I guess that could just be some AI. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Anyway, Wally Wingert is also the voice. He's the current voice of John in Garfield.
Okay.
And he played Herman Toothrot in the Monkey Island games. So those are the things I know him from.
Cool.
Back to the show. I think we're at Sonic's house. It's unclear. We're at some kind of building on the beach.
We're at the interview hut, clearly.
And there's a long queue that's formed for tryouts to be Sonic's sidekick. Mostly nondescript characters, mostly various shades of brown and grey.
But also like 50% characters we already know.
Yeah, Amy and Knuckles are here.
And a mysterious hooded figure.
I wonder who that could be. That's the exact shape of Tails under the hood. So Amy is played by Cindy Robinson, who has also been playing Amy since 2010. We've talked about her before because she played Zola in the Blue Dragon anime.
Okay.
Sonic immediately passes on her audition, and I'm so glad because we still hear more of it than I want to.
We do.
I love Amy, but I don't like Sonic Boom Amy.
She's a bit much.
She's a bit much. She's decided to audition by juggling and singing, and that's all she does in this whole episode, over and over again.
Oh, and the Saints go marching in pop-a-da-ba-da-ba.
Next!
That's not true. She also does improv.
Yeah, but her improv is juggling and singing.
I'm a crazy pizza man who juggles and sings. Oh, and the Saints go marching in.
Yeah. But as a pizza man.
Yeah, that's true. There's this beaver.
My biggest weakness? Actually, it's my incredible cowardice.
I hate this beaver.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah. Apparently he was created for this episode, and they thought he was so funny that he became a recurring character.
You skipped the best character, though.
Who's the best character?
Knuckles.
Oh, Knuckles comes after the beaver, doesn't he?
No.
Oh. So the order of events that I've got here is Amy.
Oh wait, yeah, I had skipped too far forward.
Okay.
I was just excited to get to my boy.
Yeah, the order of events I've got here is Amy, a beaver, Amy again, and then Knuckles.
Okay, yeah. I was just looking for that sweet nuts.
No, I understand. I would never have skipped over Knuckles because he's the highlight of this episode to me.
Yes.
This was the biggest laugh I got in the episode because Knuckles has misunderstood the interview. He thinks that Sonic wants to be Knuckles'. I guess he thinks that Sonic is offering his services as a sidekick.
Yeah.
I like
and
that.
And so Knuckles interviews him.
Yeah. Knuckles is played by Travis Willingham, who played Knuckles from 2010 until 2018, but is no longer the voice of Knuckles.
Uh-oh.
He was a good Knuckles. I don't think there's ever been a bad Knuckles, though. Knuckles is one of those characters, like, every voice he's had has been good.
Yeah.
I think Dan Green was my favorite Knuckles, but Travis Willingham does a great job, too.
We'll allow it.
Yeah. We've talked about him before as well, because he played Neba in Tower of Druaga.
All these names you keep saying, I'm like, I know we've watched it, but who are these people?
I'm not gonna... Mel, I don't remember who Neba was. I know the others. Like Zola was the woman with like the pirate bandana and the long purple hair in Blue Dragon.
Okay, Neba appears to be the ranger.
Okay.
He's got like Sasuke hair and a bow.
Okay. Well, there you go then. He's that guy. So there's one more applicant and it's Tails wearing a cloak, and he nails the audition.
No, it's a mysterious stranger.
You sounded a little bit like Tails then.
That's me. I'm gonna be the next Tails.
You could do it. I believe in you.
I couldn't. I can't do a little boy's voice on purpose. Only, like, I sent a voice message through the Messenger app to someone. They're like, you sound like a little boy. I was like, thanks. That sounds great to hear. That's my normal grown woman voice. Thanks.
What you're really good at is the nerd voice.
That's my specialty. That's what I would put on my sidekick interview resume.
Yeah, that's why I hired you to be my sidekick.
And yet I rarely use the nerd voice.
You use it enough. You use it when it's needed.
I get my money's worth.
So Sonic is mad that Tails is here auditioning for his own job. Luckily, Eggman showed up to audition as well.
Luckily.
Well, now Sonic is stuck holding a trial between two candidates that he doesn't want.
He's trying to shake off Eggman, but he's like, no, your application says anyone eligible.
Luckily, the beaver comes back. Luckily for Sonic, unluckily for us. He shows up to have his parking validated, and Sonic signs him up as the third one. This beaver's name is Fastidious Beaver.
Okay.
He was created for this episode, but he's also in the game, so that like shows the kind of like weird cross development that the two things had.
Of all things, why him? Why is he twice?
I don't know. He seems to be the only character created for the show who also showed up in the game, so...
We just love this annoying beaver so much.
He's so annoying, and his whole shtick is that he says actually at the beginning of every sentence.
Right, and he corrects everybody.
And at one point he just says the word actually on its own.
Yeah, isn't that when he's just like... No, I don't remember. It's not when he's fallen to the ground.
No, I think it's when they're about to leave.
Actually, do you validate parking?
Congratulations, you're the third candidate.
Actually,
It's like, that's not a joke.
It's good jokes.
You can't just have someone say the word actually and think it's a joke.
It's a catchphrase.
No.
Cue the audience.
Oh, I did think this was funny. So the first trial is a race to a red flag that's been placed at the top of a very dangerous mountain called Mount Safety.
It's a little too heavy-handed for me.
It made me chuckle. Oh, also, this made me chuckle. The beaver starts to speak and Eggman pushes him off the cliff.
actually,
I think that mainly just made me chuckle because I hate the beaver so much.
Yeah, get rid of that guy.
I'm on Eggman's side right now.
He did what we were all thinking.
Yeah. Eggman's cheating, but Tails is winning anyway.
They start off on hoverboards and then just switch to other vehicles for no reason. Like, what are the rules of this race?
Yeah, we're not really given any rules. There seems to be a deliberate flying portion to the race. I don't know how the beaver was supposed to do that. Luckily, he's dead already, so...
Flap his big dumb beaver tail.
Yeah, like, did the beaver have a flying vehicle? Because they've clearly provided their own flying vehicles. Tails is in the plane from the beginning, and Eggman's in the Eggmobile. So I don't know. Would the beaver have just been left behind?
Probably.
Or does he have a plane? Maybe everyone has a plane in this world. I don't know.
Or some means of flying.
So Eggman attacks Tails with Burnbot again, and the plane crashes in some ice.
Yeah, Birdbot is just chilling in the forest. He just scoops him up with a magnet. He almost looked like he wasn't expecting it. Like he was just out for a stroll.
Eggman, it was just a crime of opportunity.
Yeah.
So Sonic gets Tails out of the plane before it sinks into the ice. And then there's this conversation which I don't understand.
I didn't really want to fire you. I was just trying to protect you.
How? By putting me in more danger?
The plan had holes!
And I don't understand how Sonic put him in more danger.
No, because if Tails hadn't tried to become his sidekick again, he wouldn't be here. He probably wouldn't be a target ever.
Tails put himself in this situation.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe it's because he didn't immediately accept Tails as his sidekick again.
Maybe
And
it's because he
so-
made him go through the trial.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
It's not super
But-
clear, though.
But the plane got shot down again, and Sonic had to go and save him from the wreckage again.
Yeah.
Which I feel like should validate Sonic's worry.
No, it's okay because he's conscious to say, it's fine, I like crashing my plane.
It was in the ice. I like the ice.
I love being pulled from the burning wreckage by my worried best friend.
So Eggman shows up and reveals that Burnbot can now shoot fire because he's taken Sonic's advice.
Oh, Sonic.
So Burnbot melts the ice and Sonic sinks and calmly announces that he can't swim.
I can't swim.
That was annoying. This whole water part in general was annoying because Tails flies in to try and pull him out and he's like, oh no, you're waterlogged. But then they both go underwater and suddenly Tails can fly him out.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
Like,
yeah, agreed. It was just...
He doesn't just use his propeller tails. They like fly several dozens of feet into the air afterwards and he maintains flight.
So in my notes here, I've written, Tails can't pull him out until they go under for some reason.
Maybe it's like when a car is sinking and it has to completely pressurize before you can open the doors.
I'm wondering if it's like, here's my best explanation, right? Tails couldn't pull Sonic out when he was waterlogged until Tails was also waterlogged, cancelling out Sonic's waterlogging.
That has to be it.
It's anything that makes any sense. Really, it's just some contrived drama.
Yeah.
But I do think so. The way Sonic announces that he can't swim, I'm thinking about like what's the process that led to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
This show has never established yet that Sonic can't swim. We know Sonic can't swim because we know Sonic. If you're a kid watching this first episode of this show for the first time, you're not necessarily going to know. So they have to have Sonic, since they didn't do anything to set it up earlier in the episode, they have to have somebody just announce it at this point. But also, Sonic isn't afraid of the water, so he can't scream that he can't swim. So he calmly announces it as he sinks.
This might be a hot take, but I feel like the inability to swim doesn't really need much of a setup and explanation, so long as you're in a body of water and unable to keep yourself above it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like at that point it's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess they wanted the kids to know that that's a thing. They could have just easily set it up earlier in the episode, though. If they, instead of having the beginning of the episode take place in a canyon, they could have had it take place at the beach, and then they could have just casually mentioned that Sonic can't swim.
When?
Eggman could have gone to the other side of some water and been like, aha, you can't get me here because I know you can't swim. And then that's when the plane could have shown up and come into it.
It's a good thing you can't run really fast around the circumference of this body of water.
That's that's actually in Sonic X. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
Why would I know that? I haven't watched that show.
I think it's like the 5th episode. I think it's the Sonic versus Knuckles episode. At the end of the episode, once Sonic and Knuckles have made up and stopped fighting each other, ruining Eggman's plan to have them fight each other to death, Eggman still has Tails and Amy and Chris captive, I think. And he's on the other side of this lake. And he's like, I know you can't swim, Sonic, so you can't get to me here. And then Sonic just runs around the lake and saves them.
Stupid.
It's really funny.
Eggman, for a big brain science man, you're so stupid.
I like that show. I wish we were watching Sonic X. That show's funnier than this one, even though it's not a comedy.
That doesn't sound like a good thing.
No, it is. It's a funny show.
I
It's
meant
got
for
a lot of-
Sonic Boom.
Oh, this show gets funnier. That's the thing. Like, there are so many clips of this show that I've seen that really make me laugh. This was a bad example, I think. It's just got a bad first episode.
Okay.
Like, Sonic smashes Burnbot and Eggman flies away and, like, gives this speech. And it's so... It's like a Gurr speech. I don't know.
You mean full of non sequiturs?
Yeah, the evil ham part.
Oh, right.
I'll be back with a new robot who has an accurate name and super laser eyes, and he'll feed me ham. Evil ham.
Yeah, that's where it really felt like a millennial joke getting pounded into the ground.
Yeah. It's like, this is funny because it's nonsense.
It's funny because the ham is also evil.
Yeah, it's not witty, it's just silly stuff. I don't know.
Goofy stuff.
I guess there was a time when I found that funny. but it's been a long time since then.
Society has advanced since then. Humor has evolved.
Yeah. So Sonic and Tails are sidekicks again. Well, I guess Tails is the sidekick and Sonic is the Sonic. And that's the end. Well, there's a little bit with Knuckles and Amy.
Knuckles is very disappointed in his new sidekick.
Who was his new sidekick?
I presume it was Sonic, and Sonic just wasn't around to be a sidekick.
Oh, yeah.
Because he referred to him as Knuckles Jr.
That's right. We didn't mention that before. Knuckles said that if Sonic is going to be his sidekick, he should change his name to Knuckles Jr. And then we see Knuckles and Amy run into each other here, and he tells Amy that Knuckles Jr. isn't working out. I guess he is talking about Sonic. I guess he thinks the audition went well, but then Sonic didn't show up to work.
Well, he just lost out on being a really good sidekick.
Yeah, but now Amy is going to be Knuckles' sidekick, and she starts doing her juggling and singing again.
So you're saying you need I'm a crazy pizza man who juggles and sings. Oh, when it does sings, I go marching in.
Yeah. This is my notes here at the end say, I know this show gets good eventually, but this episode isn't good.
No, it's not.
Yeah, a lot of the jokes feel really forced and annoying, especially the Amy stuff and the beaver.
Yeah.
Eggman is about 50% really funny and about 50% forced in this one, I think.
Yeah.
Knuckles is great. I love Knuckles.
You can't ruin Knuckles.
No, I don't think I had a problem with Knuckles. How do you feel about buff Knuckles?
I get it. I don't hate it. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to seeing him all swole like that, but if he wants to take care of himself and get all beefy, good for him.
It was a big shock when this first came out, seeing Knuckles like that. Because, yeah, I just really wasn't used to it. I have a lot of friends who think that Knuckles should always be like this. Because it's, it is design tropes. A character with a body like this, you immediately read them as the strong guy.
The strong, dumb one.
So I get it, but I think it's cool that normal Knuckles subverts that. I actually really like the fact that Knuckles is a little guy who's really powerful. Because all the other power characters in Sonic do have that big buff body. Vector has it, Storm the Albatross has it. So Knuckles being this little guy who's just as strong as those guys, I think makes him feel more superpowered. So I just
can't stop thinking about the last Sonic versus Knuckles episode we watched, and superpowered is not the word that comes to mind.
Well, that wasn't really Knuckles, was it? You can't count Sonic Underground Knuckles. Sonic Underground Knuckles does not figure into the pantheon of Knuckleses.
I'm sorry, he's going to be part of the child army that saves the world. How does he not figure in?
He's going to be the first to fall. And you know it.
But he's gonna twirl his arms at us real good.
He's gonna twirl his arms and walk really slowly towards us, and then Manic is gonna go, "Whoa, he's good."
Yeah?
Yeah. Not enough Knuckles in this episode. We've got to watch another one with more Knuckles.
Agreed.
Also, where's Styx?
Dead.
She was in the opening, but she's not in this episode at all, so...
Does she need to be in every episode?
It's just funny that she wasn't in the first episode, because she was the main... when the show first came out, she was one of the main things they used to advertise it. It was like, come watch the show for the new character, Styx the Badger. And I think she was designed by Sonic Team, specifically for the show. She's the only character in the show who was designed by the artists who do the game characters.
Right.
So, just interesting. But she doesn't really figure into the game that much either. She's just an NPC you can meet.
I don't know. Sounds like she doesn't really know her own place in the world.
Yeah, it sounds like they didn't know her own place either. What about the legacy of this show? Are you interested in such a question to ask me right now?
Is it the beaver?
Kind of, I guess. I mean, he is in the rest of the show.
He's in the game.
He's in the game. Well, this show spawned an Archie Comics series, which lasted for 11 issues, which means it ran for just short of a year. And Burnbot from this episode
Oh my god.
is in Sonic Boom Fire and Ice, which was a 3DS game, and Sonic Dash 2, which was a mobile game.
Is there a freeze bot?
I don't think so. Not to my knowledge.
Well, then what's he doing in Fire and Ice?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he was, like, playable in some form. It's funny, like, we only talked about Rise of Lyric, but that wasn't, as badly as that game did, that wasn't the immediate end of the Sonic Boom franchise. Because obviously, like, the TV show ran for 2 seasons.
Right.
But also, alongside Rise of Lyric, there was also a 3DS game called Shattered Crystal, which came out. And in that one, it still had 4 playable characters, but they switched out Amy for Styx. Because you can only have one girl.
Of course. It's the rules.
And then, like, a year later, they made Sonic Boom Fire and Ice for the 3DS as well. Which everybody was surprised by after how badly the first game went.
It was already in development. They couldn't stop it.
Well, I've heard that the 3DS ones aren't that bad.
You never played them?
No, I've never played any Sonic Boom game. And then Sonic Dash 2 was entirely Sonic Boom themed, I think. But I also think they ditched Sonic Dash 2 and went back to the original Sonic Dash.
Sounds like you're a fake Sonic fan.
Yeah, I am. But Styx, Styx has stuck around. Because even after they stopped doing anything with Sonic Boom, Styx appeared in the, I think the latest Olympics game. She was a playable character. She's the only Sonic Boom character in it. But I think she's just been adopted into the, like, since she was designed by Sonic Team anyway, I think they've just adopted Styx into the regular cast now. Because she got mentioned in Sonic Frontiers as well.
She's real. She's a real character.
Yeah, Amy mentioned her as, like, one of her friends, so. Interesting. Waiting to see if she actually ever appears in a story game again.
She's always just off camera. She's busy.
Well, that's the thing, because Amy mentioned her as one of her friends at the end of Sonic Frontiers, but we've never seen her outside of a Sonic Boom game, except for that Olympics one, which I don't think counts.
Do you think Amy's making her up?
Styx is Amy's imaginary friend.
Yes.
She's just trying to make Sonic jealous. Like, I hang around with other people, you know.
She just wants there to be more girl characters.
Like, I've got Cream. Blaze prefers to hang around with Sonic. I don't know what's going on with Rouge. I need another girl.
Can't make a girl squad like this.
Every time I invite Rouge, she comes over, and then while I'm getting drinks in the kitchen, she leaves with my jewelry.
You'd think I'd see it coming after a while, but...
Keep giving her the benefit of the doubt.
I just want her to play Sex in the City with us.
She's our Samantha. Which one is Samantha? Is that the right one?
I don't know.
I'll look it up. Which one is Samantha? I think she's the flirty one. Yeah, I did it. I did the right Sex in the City reference.
Haven't you unwittingly watched way more of this than you would care to?
Unwittingly sounds like I did it by accident. I've definitely seen more of it than I want to. Yeah, I've seen more of it than I want to have seen.
Yeah, unwittingly isn't the right word. Against your will.
Yes. By which I mean I've seen like 3 episodes, probably.
That's 3 more than I have.
And I remember I saw like 3 episodes, and then my ex, who was putting it on around me, stopped putting it on around me because I was complaining about how often they were saying, and just like that. I was like, they constantly say, and just like that all the time. And she said, no, it was just that one episode where that was the gimmick. They don't say it all the time. And now I'm like a decade after we broke up, the sequel series came out, and the title of the series is And Just Like That.
It's just the gimmick of the episode, Mike.
There's no way. I hope that she kept watching it without me and that she noticed and it started driving her crazy because I pointed it out. I'll never know.
Probably.
But it drove me crazy and I only saw 3 episodes. It was in the narration, in Carrie's narration of scenes.
Right.
Anytime like she would open the narration with, and just like that all the time. And it drove me nuts.
Isn't she supposed to be like a writer or something?
Yes.
Girl, you gotta switch it up.
Anyway, I guess we're done.
Thank God.
Sonic boom, Sonic boom, Sonic boom.
That's the wrong one.
Oh, yeah. Well, this one doesn't have a theme song. What am I supposed to do?
It does have a theme song, it just sucks.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, I've had enough. The thing is, I know the second episode of this is good because I watched it back in the day. The second episode, Eggman comes to crash at Tails' house because he's blown up his base. And he's like, can I crash here for a few days? And the whole episode is them putting up with Eggman in the house. And it's great. It's a really stupid premise.
You keep assuring me, but I haven't seen it.
No, okay. Well, we'll get to it. I want us to watch the Vector episode at some point as well. There's one episode that has Vector in it. And it has my favorite joke that I've seen online from this show.
I'm pretty sure you've sent it to me before.
I definitely have. It's where they're Sonic and Vector are in a bush.
Yeah.
And Sonic says, man, this isn't like stakeouts on TV. And then Vector says, yeah, usually there's just 2 lines of dialogue and then they see their guy. And then Sonic says, there he is. And that's a good joke. I like that. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thank you to our patrons, Jamie Core, Mark Kelly, and our new patron and the first member of Club Mesmeron.
Club Mesmeron?
Well, they are the Club Mesmeron right now, I guess.
I just forgot that was the name of the tier.
Yeah, the tiers are Club VIP and Club Mesmeron.
I missed that guy.
Me too. We gotta watch more Pac-Man episodes that actually contain him.
Yeah.
So yes, Marley the Changeling, thank you.
Thank you.
For joining Club Mesmeron. We appreciate all 3 of you. If you'd like to join either of the club tiers, you can head to patreon.com/superbreakfastfriendsclub and do that.
Just that thing that you just said.
Members of Club Mesmeron get to suggest episodes to us. That's part of the deal.
We've sold our souls for it. You need to order us around.
I'm Skull Pirate Mike, and you can find me online. And also next weekend, I will be at Thought Bubble in Harrogate, selling comics and things that I made.
Are you gonna give a date?
Next weekend, the 16th of November.
Good job. I'm proud of you.
And the 17th. I'll be there on the 17th too. Who says I wouldn't?
Mesmeron?
Mesmeron can't order me around. I'm not one of the ghosts. I'm not one of his ghost nieces and nephews.
Do you think if Pac-Man ate you, you would turn into eyeballs?
I don't know. We've never seen him eat anyone that isn't a ghost.
That wasn't a ghost?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a question for Pac-Man. Everybody sound off in the comments. If Pac-Man ate me, would I become eyeballs?
Would I become eyeballs? Where would you go back to? Where's your change of skin?
Well, maybe that's how you end up in the ghost closet the first time.
Oh, yeah, that checks out.
Maybe, like, I'll just float around as eyeballs for a while, and then I'll run into a ghost, and I'll be like, oh, you too, huh? Come here. I gotcha. What color do you like? Blue? There's already a blue one.
What if you are getting ferried down the river Styx, but you're just eyeballs?
Ah, yeah, we get a lot like you. Pac-Man, huh?
We got you a sheep ghost down the river.
You're gonna get to the sheet ghost place. You're gonna tell him Karen sent you. Get you a discount. Don't worry about it. You got any power pellets?
Would there even be anything? You wouldn't have any money left. You'd have to give it all to Karen.
You're gonna find a guy called Mesmeron. Give him this token.
This is the Karen Fun Bucks. He knows what it's good for.
Yeah, we go way back, me and Mesmeron. Don't ask.
Mesmeron is too powerful to be ferried. Mesmeron is a hermit in the sense that he is outside of the cycle of life and death.
Does this mean that the entire Pac-Man series takes place in the underworld?
No.
No? Because Mesmeron's down there.
You put him down there. He doesn't live down there.
You put me in the river Styx looking for a ghost sheet.
You dyed his eyeballs! It made sense.
It's pretty impressive that you managed to balance those coins on those things.
Well, people put them on your eyelids to keep them down. It's literally the only thing that you have with you, too.
Wait, do they put them on the eyelids to stop the eyes from coming out?
Maybe.
Is that the whole thing?
To stop you from being resurrected as a Pac-Man ghost?
You gotta put a coin on each eye. Otherwise, we're gonna have Pac-Man ghosts all over this place.
I ain't got enough power pills to chase them out. I tried to eat one of those things. Oh, heartburn.
Bad gas.
Indigestion.
It's starting to sound like a 50s commercial for medicine. Oh, bye.
What about coffee?
Oh, there's nothing on the coffee yet. I gotta get some stickers made. I finally got my own stickers made and I screwed them up.
Way to go, chuckle fuck.
Well, at least I didn't screw up the Patreon ones. That would have been worse if I would have been more upset if I screwed up the Super Breakfast Friends Club ones. So I'm glad I screwed up on these food animals.
What if you accidentally got a bunch of teeny tiny Parappa prints? They're like business card size.
You like can't see anyone.
But the spirit is there.
Yeah, that would have been worse. Come find me on Blue Sky, not Twitter. I'm not going to use Twitter anymore. After the events of the past however long it's been.
Decade.
Yeah.
It's the slow and silent decline.
I guess it has been almost a decade since this political shenanigans began, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
That's why we're not going to talk about it on our TV show about TV shows.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Yet another unusable episode where we'll get 20 minutes.